Hi, I'm Jim Juback, and welcome to this week's Trend of the Week video. Trend of the Week is China accelerates, and there's good and there's bad in this. So let's talk about what is happening. So what we're looking at is a horrific death toll in China. This is a sort of a crash course in pandemic COVID control. Basically infect the entire population, let a lot of people die, and then, hey, you've got immunity. So that looks like what's happening now. The question is how many people are going to die? Still open. 1 million people? Hey. But anyway, what Bloomberg economists said, looking at, seen a pickup in the most recent numbers in the Chinese manufacturing activity. What Bloomberg is saying is, if that translates out, and I think it will, you're looking at 5.8 GDP growth in 2023. That would be a huge bump from 3% in 2022. So if you're going to look at Chinese economic activity picking up, this is really a turning point. And if you want to look at it in terms of ETFs, etc., this is a chart for the iShares China Large-Cap ETF. It's the biggest companies in China. And you notice that we're on a very definite upswing here. This is anticipation of two things. One is this improved story about GDP growth, and two is the sense that the People's Bank is going to move to stimulate the economy to make up for any problems from this COVID crash. So the stock is moving up. The other thing about this that I'd urge you to do, so if you want to buy some, this is a good ETF to use to buy all the large Chinese stocks. I've used it before in portfolios. I'll use it again. I think I'm going to re-add it to my ETF portfolio on my paid site, gbacam.com. The other thing to note, if you look at a chart for the emerging markets ETF as a whole, that's the EEM, it's very heavily influenced by China. It's not all China, but it's basically, I've been shorting this because I thought, China, I was going to drag it down, and we're looking at slower global growth. I think that it's probably a time to end the short because China is going to drag up this whole index. Okay, that's all the good news. The bad news is that with Chinese growth picking up, China is going to wind up exporting inflation to the global economy. It's about 100, the pickup in Chinese activity is likely to add about 100 basis points, that's 1 percentage point, to global inflation in 2023. The Fed knows this. The question is whether this will change the Fed's pathway in terms of pausing or whatever, but we can certainly look to see inflation in commodity prices, energy prices, and then eventually in consumer prices, all because China's economy is back, baby. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We do 3 a week. You get a notification for free of when we do the next one. You can also get more of my stuff on my free site. That's jubacpicks.com. Or you can subscribe to my paid site. That's gbacam.com. And that's got 6 portfolios instead of just 3. And that's where I do my ETFs, and that's where I run the ETF portfolio. So if you're looking for changes in a basic 5 ETF portfolio, that's where to go. So thanks very much for watching. Talk to you next time.